you will never be the exact same version of yourself that you are right now. And because of that, you can hold faith and you can hold confidence in the fact that when that moment comes, the speech, the case, the trip, the meeting, the whatever, that you can hold faith that when that moment comes, the version of you that can handle that is what and who is going to show up. Dentists, are you ready to take your practice to the next level? Directa USA, the North American arm of Directa Dental Group, brings you innovative, high-quality products from around the world, designed to improve both your technique and patient outcomes. We're more than just products. We're a partner in your success. With a solution-based approach and expert-backed innovation, Directa USA helps you provide the best care possible. Better products mean better dentistry. Visit them today at directausa.com. Welcome back to On the Cusp. I'm your host, Dr. Brett Gilbert, and this is a solo short episode, and it's on a concept that I've recently learned, and I heard it on a post. It was someone else being interviewed. Unfortunately, I can't even go back and find the post, but the idea stuck to me, and it's had a profound impact, and I think it may have the same type of impact on you, and that is when we start to get anxiety in our lives, anxiety surrounding maybe the next day of work, maybe going to an event, maybe meeting up with someone. Maybe it's a bigger thing like a vacation. Maybe it's something like a speech or giving a lecture. And the concept of feeling anxious, like in some way, harboring some doubt as to whether or not you can pull it off. And I'm going to say this from my own personal experience after so many years of practice and lecturing and presenting and making speeches. I still get that flickering of doubt, saying to myself, how am I going to get up on the stage tomorrow and do that? Or how am I going to handle this case tomorrow? Or maybe it's how am I going to handle this case in 5 minutes? And the concept here, which has really helped me, and I think it's fun to play with, so I wanted to bring it to you, is this idea of the fact that you will never be the exact same version of yourself that you are right now. And because of that, you can hold faith and you can hold confidence in the fact that when that moment comes, the speech, the case, the trip, the meeting, the whatever, that you can hold faith that when that moment comes, the version of you that can handle that is what and who is going to show up. So this concept is really powerful to play with because what it does is it eases the anxiety about the future. We know the past is gone. Whatever you remember about your past, it's really just a thread or a figment of what actually occurred. You've already developed your opinions. You've already developed a certain controlled memory over it. And the present, of course, is happening as it's unfolding. As I'm sitting here recording this episode, I am present in this moment. But what comes next? What are you doing in a minute, in an hour, in a day? What are you dreading? What are you afraid that maybe you're not going to be good enough for? Maybe you're a student and it's an exam, right? Maybe it's a difficult conversation you need to have with someone. Maybe it is developing a lecture or a speech or writing that book and saying to yourself, I don't know that I can do this. Am I brave enough? Am I smart enough? Do I have enough time? And the concept here is to apply this idea and faith and trust in yourself that when the moment comes, the version of you that you will be in that moment will absolutely be able to crush the speech, perform the case beautifully, have that difficult conversation and have it have a great outcome, and all the other things that you might be dreading, anticipating, or stressing about. And so this concept then is really interesting because if I am the version of myself now and I will never be that again, why? Well, when you think about it, every experience, every breath, every conversation, every video you watch, like the one I'm describing, it changes you. You grow, you add something, you have a different perspective, you have a different experience level, you just have a different way of being from being alive. And that means that the version of you that's going to show up in the future will be a version that is prepared, will be a version that can perform, will be a version that can execute, will be a version that can be empathetic or compassionate, will be a version that can keep your emotions in check when you're doing something difficult or having a difficult conversation or stepping into a scenario which is unpleasant. And so I've really been playing with this and I wanted to bring it to you because I think it's so powerful. I think oftentimes our track record would tell us, I can do this. And I'll use myself as an example. When I have a lecture or a workshop that I'm conducting, I've done so many. I don't remember how many. And yet I still get a little nervous, right? And I still wonder, will I be able to speak well the whole day? Will my voice hold up? Will I have the energy to do it? And all of these things sort of create and compound the anxiety in our minds. And we know anxiety is solely rooted in the future. Anxiety is solely rooted in trying to anticipate what's going to transpire, what it's going to look like, how it's going to go, what's going to be said, what the outcome is going to be. And of course, we are zero out of life for ever predicting the future. So it really is a fruitless thing to be anxious about something that's going to come, because really the better way to manage it, and what I've been trying to do, is to just say to myself, I can trust in myself that when the moment comes, I will be ready. And the reason that I'm so confident that I will be ready is because a new and prepared and ready version of myself will be there to do it. So as you're laying on a couch in the evening, dreading a case the next day, or even just going to work, or maybe you're up at night because you have a big lecture or speech the next day, or whatever it might look like, rest assured, settle in, relax, hold faith and trust in yourself that when the moment comes, the version of you that can handle it, that can execute, that can perform, that can get the outcome, that's who's going to show up. And there's so much peace in that. There's so much where the stress kind of melts away. And the trust and the faith is truly in yourself, because you know you have the skills. You know you have the preparation that you needed to get ready for this moment. What you don't have is the confidence that you'll be able to do it, because the version of yourself that's laying on the couch or laying in bed the night before isn't the same version that's going to show up in the moment. The version that's going to show up in the moment is the one that is ready, that is prepared, that is confident, and that is able to execute, perform, and get the outcome that you desire. So I thought it was really fun to play with it. And an interesting reflection is that the version of myself that started to watch this video in which this concept was laid out was one version. By the end of the video, I was a different version of myself. And the reason is because I had learned something. I had absorbed it. It had resonated with me. And so I hope that this podcast does the same thing for you. I will be a different version of myself once I stop recording this, because of the experience of expressing this, and to do it in a way in which I'm hoping it will help you. And in the same way, you will be a different version of yourself, having absorbed the concept. Maybe allow it to, resonate inside of you, reflect on it. But remember that there's no reason to stress, because the version of you that's stressing about it is not the same version of you that's going to show up in the moment. So the point being is, every wellness expert, every therapist, every psychologist, every wise person, spiritual leader will say the same thing. We only have right now. The moment we are in, the present moment, is life. And life is a series of present moments. And so when we can invest more into this moment, and by my knowing that when I go tomorrow to work, that the version of myself that shows up there will be ready for work, takes away the pressure of trying to be the version of myself that needs to treat patients right now. I don't need to treat patients right now. In this present moment, I'm podcasting. When I need to treat patients or make a speech, the version of myself that will be necessary to execute that and to pull it off, that's who will show up. So the stress melts off. I can just enjoy being the version that I am right now of myself, who's able to do this podcast. And then in an hour, I can be the version of myself that's in the next phase of my life. So I hope this helps. Being present is the key to peace. Anxiety is totally rooted in the future, but there is no reason to prognosticate, because the version of yourself that's doing that prognostication is not the same version of yourself that will show up in that moment. So stop stressing, stop worrying. And I'm saying this to myself in the same way I'm sharing it with you, because this is a new concept for me that I will say has brought a measure of peace, a measure of tranquility, and a measure of confidence, faith, and trust in myself that I didn't have before I saw that video. So I hope you've enjoyed this concept. Please comment below. Please send me a message, DM me. Let me know what you think of this and if it helps you, because I think it's so powerful when we can share these tips and tricks and really learn and grow together so that the next version of ourselves is the next version that we can count on. And if we had to compare ourselves or compete or do any of those things in this world, let it be this only: that the next version of yourself is just a little bit better than the version of yourself that sits here right now. And if you can just simply focus on that, sky's the limit. And I wish you all the best and success in life. Remember, we only get to live this one life. Let's not waste one precious moment of it. And I wish you all the best, and I can't wait to see you inside the next episode.